Good evening. Today is Wednesday, and I believe it is May the 26th. And I know today for me, it seems like I don't know how we're already close to the end of May and right in front of Memorial Day holiday. So, I hope everybody is gearing up for a nice long weekend with family and friends, and not only honoring the time with family and friends that you're going to have, but also the reason and the purpose for the day. Taking a moment of silence to thank those that have served in our armed forces. So I know that something I hold very near and dear to my heart. And this call is a very special call this evening. My name is Cindy Tysinger, and I am the founder and chief culture officer of Regenrus. And this has been just a labor of love starting this company. No pun intended. My maiden name was Love. So when I joke about that, I can really feel it close to the heart. But I am so honored to welcome two very amazing women, Carolyn Jones and Jana Kadovich. We're so grateful that you both are here tonight. I met these beautiful women in 2018. It has been 3 years now. I happened to come through Knoxville with a friend, and Carolyn was at my very first meeting in Knoxville, Tennessee in May of 2018. And that was kind of a momentous day in history for us, for how we started. And I learned so much from their practice, the Holistic Institute of Wellness. I've learned so much through Reiki and energy and acupuncture, and just so much in the spiritual growth that I really attribute to both of you amazing women and ladies that are in my life. I'm grateful for your care for Regenrus and really sharing this out in the world and our mission and our purpose. So thank you for being here this evening. Can't wait to hear your presentation. And I'm going to turn it over to Brian Mariani, our Chief Innovation Officer.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for founding an absolutely extraordinary company with a mission that enables us to be on this live call together. And for those joining in afterwards, we certainly welcome you. This is an opportunity for us to connect, to create, to collaborate, to be a force for good in the world. And we are very conscious of the language that we use, and synergy literally means the interaction or cooperation of two or more organizations, substances, or other agents to produce a combined effect greater than the sum of their separate parts. And that is literally at the essence of Regenrus products. It's at the essence of our leadership and our impact in the world. We take that very seriously, and we're absolutely honored to be featuring Carolyn and Jana, who are the founders of the Holistic Institute for Wellness. They are a synergistic relationship, professional atmosphere for health and healing and wellness and spirituality and energetics. They're two absolute powerhouses, and they're going to share their insights. They're both exceptionally well trained in a number of modalities, and hopefully we'll get to learn a little bit about that. But more than anything, we're just so grateful for both of you to really dive in into the science and into the reason for Regenrus's products being the type that we can really differentiate in a marketplace that's just so overloaded with products and supplements. It can be very difficult for people to decipher and decide which products to take, why they're important. And I know that you two are absolutely exceptional in your ability to deliver that. So thank you both for being here. On a personal note, I have to say that getting to know you two over the past 3 years has been nothing short of extraordinary. I wouldn't be the person I am today without you, and I know you know that. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Brian and Cindy. Wow, those are tough acts to follow.
Seriously.
We'll see what we can do with that. So Cindy, I'm going to ask you if you would to share our presentation, and thank you for being our orchestrator of that this evening. And we want to thank everyone that's here with us tonight. We're excited about the presentation. Excited to share with you all a little bit about how to manage your stress through some mindful techniques so that you can find that balance and harmony, and how that really helps us incorporate in with Regenrus and our relationship with Regenrus and the amazing products that Regenrus offers. So I thought what we could do first off tonight is just talk a little bit about our story. And so Cindy, if you'll switch to that next slide for us.
Okay.
So it all began when Los Angeles met Tennessee.
Yes, back in November of 2012.
Yes. So Jana flew across to Tennessee and drove
5 days.
5 days.
It was lovely.
Yeah. So we met actually at the end of November in 2012. And Jana had moved into the office building that I was in at the time, and that we're both currently in now. And you know, we just we struck up a friendship and got to know each other over the period of probably a good year or so.
Right.
And then in 2014, at the beginning of 2014, we began to teach together. So Cindy, if you'll share our next slide for us. And so in our conversations, so we took some time and we started thinking about, you know, how do we want to come together? We had all these modalities. And like I said, our first class together was in 2014. And then we started thinking over the next several years just about all the different modalities that we offered. And so we, in 2017, and you can switch to the next slide, Cindy, in 2017, we actually formed HIW.
Right. And that was we started out doing our Reiki classes. It was a simple thing. When I came from Los Angeles, I was already trained and had already been teaching Reiki for a good couple of years. And then when I got here, it turned out that Carolyn was looking to teach it, but had no one to teach it with. And so it turned out I had all the material, and we had the same dream and the same vision. And the vision was to be able to get this information out to the people, out to the masses. And so it started out as just a simple class back in 2014. And then by the time we created Holistic Institute of Wellness, we were teaching all three levels. We had 1, 2, and 3 of Reiki, and then we were beginning to add other classes.
And so we had the Reiki, we had intuitive coaching, we had acupuncture, we were teaching classes on meditation and just various others. And so when we started talking about, forming the company, Jana said, well, I have this name I've had for years. And I said, oh, really? And I said, what is it? And she goes, Holistic Institute of Wellness. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. And she even had the name, the name plaque already made. It was just so serendipitous. And, immediately went and checked the domain, and, the .com was available. And I was like, this is so meant to be. So in 2017, we formed Holistic Institute of Wellness officially. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Getting tongue twisted.
Not worse.
And Cindy, if you'll share our next slide. So from that point, we have certified over, now 125 plus Reiki students. We have 5 master teachers that we are so proud of. And we have 2 of those master teachers in Atlanta. And then we have the other 3 here with us in Knoxville. We have an amazing group of community members, you know, and just all various stages of Reiki. So that's a huge part of our training. But the other parts of what we do, like I'm an intuitive life coach. I actually do Reiki healing. Jana has several different modalities that she does.
I have a hybrid motion. I have a hybrid situation where I'll mix my acupuncture with energy healing, sound healing, Reiki. Yeah, I kind of bring it all in together.
And then your newest technique.
And then my newest technique is past life regression, future life regression, and beyond. It gets very, it's called quantum, beyond quantum, but past life regression hypnosis I've now brought in, because it became very clear to me that people's pain is literally changing. It's changing. And the Chinese medicine is awesome. I've been doing it 21 years, but it was very clear that people were going to need something else to help break through the pain, especially the chronic pain. And so this last year and a half of what's taken place in our world has really come to light. So we needed new modalities. I know I needed new modalities to break through some old, just belief systems. Maybe belief systems would be a good word. So I've now tacked on some nice hypnotic techniques that I can add to my acupuncture and energy medicine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the other part of our company as well is we also now have these practitioners that offer all sorts of modalities, such as sound healing, as Jana mentioned. We have a lady that does biofield tuning. We have others that do Akashic records. We have, you know, so the list goes on. So we're just so proud of everything that we've created. And, you know, when we met Regenrus, which we'll get into in a little bit, it was just this beautiful, as Brian said earlier, talking about synergy. It was this beautiful synergistic meeting that we had, and how Regenrus and Holistic Institute of Wellness just have this natural complement to each other. So before we get into that, what we would like to do is take a few minutes with you all and just share some mindful techniques to help, because we've learned by practicing these in our own lives, it really helps to still the mind, to still the body, and to bring yourself into a state of balance. So Cindy, if you'll share that next slide for us. You know, sometimes it's often good to understand, like, what is stress? You know, if we're going to mindfully manage stress, it's probably important that we actually understand what stress is. So, you know, stress is essentially like that physical response, that emotional response, even that mental response that your body is having to pressure. That's, you know, in simple terms, right?
Absolutely. And stress will create a hormonal change in one's body. So we've all heard the words cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And that in turn creates a whole cascade of things that goes on in the system. So it can easily cause weight gain and heart rate change, increased blood pressure, play with our blood sugar levels. Cortisol is a fascinating hormone to actually study and to understand it, because there's so much we can do with it. There's a tremendous amount we can do with it.
Yeah. So we have like these increased levels of, you know, blood pressure, heart rate, like Jana said, blood, you know, sugar levels. And then that has this whole cascade of other, you know, feelings of the frustration and anxiety, even leading to anger and depression. So, which can cause us, you know, not to sleep well. And then we're making poor decisions, and then we're just overwhelmed with life in general. So all of this is constantly playing in to our environment. So it's very important to become aware of this and what you're feeling, so that you can learn to manage that effectively. So Cindy, if you'll share that next slide, we're going to talk just a little bit about mindfulness, because the biggest piece about mindfulness is just its awareness. Like, it's awareness of what's going on. around you and bringing your awareness into the moment,
The present moment.
right?
Absolutely. And that's what a lot of the Buddhists, I studied Buddhism for a very long time and studied mindfulness with all of that. And it's one of their main focuses is simply being in the moment, right? Has the stress pulled you out? And 9 times out of 10, it does. It pulls us out of the moment. It pulls us out of our body. We're not even thinking. We're leaving things on counters and walking outdoors, and we're so consumed with distraction.
Yeah.
So mindfulness is all about bringing it back to center, bringing it back to the balance, right?
Yeah, and just, releasing those thoughts of the past and then the worry of the future, because that's what we all tend to do. We tend to worry about the past, and then we worry about what we're going to do in the future. And so if we can learn just to be present in that moment, and like Jana said, just being focused and balanced, it just allows you to come into this beautiful state of alignment. So we're going to share about 10 tips with you all tonight that will give some just useful tools on how you can really begin to implement some mindfulness techniques into your daily life. And Cindy, if you'll share that next slide for us. So one of the first things that we always recommend is starting your day out with some sort of centering. And Cindy, I'll have you share that next slide just so the viewers can see it. So thank you. But, one of the things that we like to do, and it's different for everyone, and you don't have to do all 3 of these. However, it's important if you can just establish some sort of morning routine. And that can be cleansing breaths, that can be meditation, journaling, whatever that feels right for you, right?
And I know what I share with my clients, meditation can be just 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be a real long thing. Of course, we're all needing to be somewhere, and people are worried about being on time. But meditation can be as simple as 5 minutes, and you can do, if you really want to multitask, you can do your breaths while you're meditating in the 5 minutes, so you still get to where you need to go. And it's actually very easy. So you just take some very simple, deep, what we call belly breaths.
Yeah.
And it's old yoga breath, old yogic breathing. And it's just truly, it's enough. What we're doing, all we're trying to do is reset your central nervous system. That's all that we're trying to do, which is actually a super duper important thing to do, because it's when our central nervous system gets off, that's when we all get triggered and we're off and running. So in the morning, it's a beautiful way to start your day because the energetics of the day haven't come in yet. And you've still got control over your life at the moment, if you will. So you can just take some very comfortable, deep breaths. And if it feels forced, don't force it. Just be natural. The depth will come later.
Yeah.
That's easy. Don't even pretend to think. You're going to get a super deep breath when it feels like it's forced, because then it'll just kind of create a resistance. And so for me, that's one of my favorite things to do is truly, I'll do my breathing, and that becomes my meditation. And then I slip right into a nice quiet meditation if I've got the time in the morning.
Yeah. And the other thing that one of my personal favorites is to adopt an attitude of gratitude. Especially with everything that is going on in the world, and we kind of have this tendency, we all kind of get caught into current events and things that are happening. But if you can just step aside from all of that and really adopt that attitude of gratitude and start your day off with that, just jotting down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for, that really brings you into this beautiful, present, mindful state. It also helps you focus on the things that are working in your life versus the things that are not. And it really, helps you move yourself into that more positive space.
So positive, it's vibration, right? It's all about vibration. And the attitude of gratitude is a big deal because it'll shift you, and it'll shift you right into being. Another thing we love to tell people is please remember to be kind to yourself, right? If the thoughts start going off in your head, just put the brakes on and just remember how awesome you are and what you have accomplished.
Yes.
Right? Self-care is truly a huge thing. It's a huge thing. A lot of us are walking around with just old programming in our head and maybe old thoughts and things people have said to us or whatever it is. But it is amazing how quickly we will go to that thought. It's pure automatic. And you've got yourself last in line before you even know it.
Right.
And you've got other people in front of you. And they're awesome people, but you're just as awesome.
Yeah.
So put yourself there first. And I promise you, everybody else will get taken care of as well. Definitely.
And then aromatherapy is fabulous. And that's something that you can just get some really high grade essential oils and drop in a diffuser and just have those just burning in the background. Like lavender is a really good one to have, that just helps relieve that stress and just kind of gives you that calm, soothing feeling that you can, just helps you be in a more centered space. And, or if you don't have a diffuser, you can literally just run some under your nose or put a few drops on your wrist and just rub it together. And just having that scent around you actually helps you come back into a mindful state.
And remember, lavender's been scientifically proven many times. They've watched how people respond in their brain. They've done all sorts of brain scans with it. And it's been shown it'll address the particular part of the brain that creates peace, that releases endorphins into the system, which creates calmness in us and calms down that central nervous system. So we're real big fans. I use it all the time in my practice.
Which is one of the reasons we have it in our Regenrus product, Rest.
That's exactly it.
Because that's what it helps us do.
Yes, it does.
Right. And then Epsom salt baths, fantastic. Highly, highly recommend an Epsom salt bath. I probably take one every single night just because it helps me truly clear off the day. Epsom salts are so healing. They also contain a lot of magnesium in them, which we are very deficient in.
Which is also in rest.
Yes. So you can start to see the synergy coming to play here. But yeah, they're just very clearing and cleansing.
And detoxing.
And very detoxing.
Very detoxing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And getting out in nature, right? Get a good hike in, a walk around the block, whatever that is for you, but try to get somewhere where there's some greenery. Preferably if you can if it's warm enough, right? Get your feet on the ground. We call it grounding. And that'll just connect you to good old Mother Earth, which actually has a vibration and we do respond to it. So getting outside, going to a lake, under a tree, anywhere that just either isn't cement or is trying to get away from cement for just a bit, if you can.
Yeah.
But yes, again, just keep thinking about there's the breathing, there's the breath, there's the resetting. Everything starts to slow down, mindfulness.
And you can take that into your exercise practice too. And like yoga. Yoga is a really good centering modality. It's really good for connecting the head and the heart. Just those stretches, really, because you have to be very mindful in yoga to do the stretches right, to hold the posture right. Also walking, just contemplative walking, that can bring you into mindfulness as well. And not necessarily walking where you're putting in the earbuds and you've got the music or you're on a phone call, just more of like disconnecting from all of that and really being present in the walk. And it's amazing what happens when you do that. You notice the birds and you see the bunny rabbits and you see the beautiful flowers and the trees because you're not distracted on all these other in all these other ways. You're just really present with nature.
And I was just thinking that's what labyrinth is great for. A labyrinth is very mindful walking. It's very contemplative. If anybody's got access to a labyrinth, it's a beautiful way to have that experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then shifting your perspective, finding a new perspective. So many times we get really focused on something that this is the way it's going to be, or this is the way I've always been, or, but when we can shift that perspective on our life and open up those doors to allow in a new way of looking at things, then it does allow us to be in this more mindful state, because we're actually creating a space within us to see something from a different place, from a different point of view. And that can take some of the most frustrating, maybe heated type conversations or situations into this completely calm state where you can figure out the solution together and help each other through this. So just shifting that little bit of perspective is so important.
Amen.
Yeah. And then Jana is going to share a couple of points with you all, just 2 points. Thank you, Cindy. And Jana, I'll let you use your skills here.
All right, easy breezy. So these are 2 super duper simple points that we learn in acupuncture school. And we do these. This is what's called Ren 17, and it is literally it's right in the middle of your sternum, right in the middle of your chest. And it's a very, very beautiful, tender point, but I use it for many different things. If I'm working with energetics, it's great for the heart chakra. If I'm working with an anxiety patient, this is fabulous for that. If I'm working with asthma, this is fabulous for that. It's a nice way. A lot of the times I'll even just, if I'll teach people to just put their hands right over their chest, right in the center, and just take a couple of nice deep breaths. And again, it's just all about that resetting. Mm-hmm. Some people, if you want, they'll just take their fingertips and just gently, you can just gently put your hand right there as well, your fingertips right on that point. You don't need to press hard at all. Mm-hmm. And again, this is a fabulous reset for the whole upper body part, if you will, but a nice way to calm the brain down and calm the breath down.
And it really helps if you suffer from a lot of anxiety or a lot of tension. Mm-hmm. It really will calm that, just that gentle pressure, and it will bring you into that more centered space.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Perfect. Next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so it's called LI4, which stands for large intestine 4. It's one of the channels in Chinese medicine that we use, also known as meridian. And it's very, very popular. This actually was probably the first point that people really started to notice many years ago for pain management. It was initially brought to the public's attention for headaches. And it's literally just right there. It's going to be right in between that index finger and that thumb. And you've got a muscle there. Okay. It's also known as a grace point because it calms people down. Now, it's tender. It does tend to be tender. So just to let you know, you don't need a lot of pressure. Everybody, and you can either give it a gentle push, you can massage it, right? Rotate your fingers, you can do that. Whatever's most comfortable for you. But it's a fabulous point to also distract you. Again, if you've got a bad headache going on, give that a gentle push, and energetically, it'll actually bring you to your hand. So it'll take you out of that moment and put you into this moment. So, but it's another one that I will give to my anxiety people. I'll tell them they need something else to concentrate on. So I'll show them where it is, and I'll tell them to just gently start massaging that spot. And they will find that things really do calm down. And so, because again, remember, a lot of us who have had the experience of anxiety, a lot of the times gastric stuff starts to kick in. And there's your large intestine right there. And a lot of the times people need to run to the restroom. And so you can actually get ahead of that and calm your large intestine down. So again, the beautiful thing about Chinese medicine is it is very multifaceted. So it doesn't matter where I am, I can use it for several, like 4 to 5 different modalities from one point. And this is one that I definitely use for mindfulness and relaxation and stress reduction.
Yeah, thank you, Jana.
You're welcome.
So those are 10 tips that hopefully will help you all, and hopefully you'll pick a couple of these and try them out as you move through this next month ahead that we have. And you know, it's just to find 1 or 2 things that you can incorporate during your day is so important, and it will literally shift your entire day and your entire week. So
just shift the frequency.
yeah. So thank you all for letting us share this with you. And now, so why Regenrus? Why Regenrus? This picture says it all. Like, Regenrus is truly, you know, we talk a lot about Ohana, which means family. And this company is absolutely amazing. As Cindy said, she and I met in 2018, and then later she came back with Brenda and Donna,
Yeah.
and you know, just met Jana, and you know, we formed this amazing tribe here, and this company is just has so much integrity. They just have this wonderful give back program, you know, giving a 4% of the proceeds to, you know, these nonprofits that we're helping both, you know, across the world now. I mean, it's just so incredible. So, you know, we have very similar missions in the sense of our beliefs and our values and what we want to do and the change we want to create in the world, and how we believe that we can help, you know, one person at a time, just by, you know, healthy or good products, supplements, good care, all of that. So, you know, this was just such a no-brainer for Jana and I. And, you know, when we formed HIW back in 2017, I said to her, I said, we don't have everything at this moment that represents an institute, but I firmly believe we will grow into our name. And that's what we've been doing over the last 3-4 years. And when we met the Regenrus team, it just made so much sense because they offer such an excellent quality product that we didn't have. And so we were fortunate enough to become affiliate partners with them. And so now, you know, we're helping people with our energetic modalities to really heal from the inside out, you know, and get in touch with what's going on. And now we have this beautiful complementary of all these wonderful products. And so, you know, Regenrus offers like the whole line. We've got this incredible wellness line of regen and rest, you know, renew. We've got this wonderful skincare line, all organic, non-toxic, and then our teas. I mean, you know, I've probably learned so much about teas being with Regenrus. I mean, I just never knew there were so many health and healing benefits to loose leaf tea. Yeah. So every single one of these products is really designed to bring you into the state of mindfulness, truly, because the regen, the rest, that works on your overall mood, your balance, your sleep. It helps you just feel better. When we feel better, we operate better in the world. We have a more attention. You know, we're able to be more focused, more clear. The immune system is boosted. Much better. Yes. And then we've got this incredible skincare line, which, oh my goodness, who doesn't want their skin to feel good, right? I mean, truly. It's true. So it's an amazing line. You know, and then again, the teas are designed to, you know, give you that, again, that complementary, that complement the products. You know, we have a certain amount of teas that complement the regen for the daytime, just to help you move through the day easier. And then we have the wonderful teas that we can utilize at night that just help you. I mean, I'm telling you, a few shots of rest and some of that relaxed tea, I'm out for hours. It's a beautiful combination. So it's just so synergistic to everything that we've been talking here tonight. And, you know, Jana and I both are just so fortunate to be a part of Regenrus. And
Yeah. And as we've always said, we are very picky with who we would affiliate ourselves with. And it was very clear immediately that Regenrus walks their talk. It was a no-brainer to become partners with them. I mean, I'll never forget the first time I met Cindy. She's such a love bug. She literally picked me up to hug me. Now, mind you, she is beautifully tall, and I'm not that tall. So she had to bring me to her, but I was not expecting it, and it was lovely. So I thought that was really cool. And so, but it's the authenticity that Regenrus brings to the table. And it's every single time. This isn't just a one-time shot. It's every single time. They are true, beautiful people. And it's a beautiful company. So, and beautiful products, right? It's all about manifestation.
so thank you all so much
you.
for having us on the call tonight. We are so grateful to be here. And we thank all of you that are listening and will listen later to our story and our message. And yeah, we hope that you'll join our Ohana. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Carolyn and Jana. It's pretty extraordinary when you have two people like yourself that are so good, great, awesome people, and have the skill set and the professionalism of the work that you do. And I love the synergy of what you bring to the world, because that's what it is. It's this beautiful synergy of heart-centered open-mindedness combined with exceptional professionalism and scientific efficacy of products and modalities. And I commend you, and I'm honored to be partnered with you both. Thank you so much.